Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're all about helping you get ready for that big Dean of Faculty interview.
That's right. We're going to break down those tough questions and give you some strategies.
Strategies to really knock those answers out of the park.
Yeah, and we've got some awesome insights from RoleCatcher to help us out.
Their career guides and AI features are top-notch.
Absolutely. So before we jump into the question and answer stuff,
Right.
let's take a minute to understand what a Dean of Faculty really does.
Yeah. What does their day-to-day look like? What are the most important parts of the job?
Well, you've got to be a strong leader, for one.
Makes sense.
You need to be a strategic thinker.
Okay.
And you've got to have a deep understanding of the academic world.
Gotcha.
You'll be shaping academic programs, promoting the faculty on a global scale, managing resources.
Sounds like a lot, but also super rewarding.
It is. It's a tough job, but it's all about finding that balance.
Balance between
That big picture vision and the day-to-day stuff.
the nitty-gritty of running a faculty.
Exactly. And that's what those interviewers are going to be looking for.
Someone who can handle it all.
Exactly. Someone who can handle the demands while making positive changes.
Now, speaking of interviewers, let's get to those questions.
Yes,
The RoleCatcher Interview Guide has some excellent examples.
they do.
Which one should we tackle first?
How about a classic? Can you tell us about your experience in academic leadership roles?
Okay. Seems straightforward enough?
It does, but a lot of people trip up on this one.
Really? Why is that? What are they really trying to figure out?
They want to see your leadership style
Okay.
and how you've made an impact specifically in academia.
So it's not just about listing off titles you've held.
No, it's about the how, not just the what have you led committees. Mentored junior faculty, spearheaded any new initiatives.
Those are all leadership experiences.
Exactly. Think beyond those formal titles.
So what advice would you give someone as they're brainstorming examples?
Check out the career stages section in RoleCatcher's guide. It outlines the typical responsibilities of a dean.
Okay, so use that as a framework.
Right. So if they're looking for someone who can manage budgets, talk about a time when you successfully managed a departmental budget or a grant.
Don't just say you can do it.
Right. Show them you've already done it.
Excellent advice. Okay, let's move on to another one.
Sounds good.
How about this one? How do you ensure academic excellence and student success?
Ooh, that's a good one.
This one feels a bit more philosophical.
It is, and that's where a lot of people get stuck in vague answers.
They don't get specific enough.
Yeah, the key here is to connect your personal philosophy with tangible actions.
Show them you can walk the walk.
Exactly. For example, if you believe in experiential learning.
Learning by doing.
Right. Talk about a program you implemented that gave students hands-on experience.
And explain the impact it had on their learning.
Yes, and make sure you can measure that impact.
So you can show them the results.
Exactly.
What kind of follow-up questions do you think they might ask after that?
They might ask about the challenges you faced implementing the program.
Okay.
Or how you measured its success.
Or how you made sure it aligned with the institution's overall goals.
Right. Be ready to go deeper.
Don't just have a good story, be ready to back it up.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's keep rolling. How do you approach faculty development and support?
This one's all about showing that you're committed to building a thriving faculty.
A faculty where everyone can grow and develop.
Exactly. Think about programs, resources, and mentorship opportunities you've provided.
So have you implemented a successful mentoring program?
Yeah.
Secured funding for faculty research or travel?
Yes. Highlight those accomplishments.
Show them what you've done.
Exactly.
You know, this reminds me of something I read in the RoleCatcher Career Guide
Oh, yeah.
about the importance of continuous learning for faculty.
Absolutely. That's a fantastic point to bring up.
So I could talk about how I encourage faculty to pursue professional development.
Yeah.
Like workshops, certifications, even advanced degrees.
Perfect. It shows you understand the value of continuous learning.
Okay, we've talked about leadership, academic excellence, faculty development.
Yeah.
Let's tackle one that often makes people nervous.
Oh, which one is that?
Can you discuss your experience in budget management?
Ah, yes, the budget question. This is where you really got to show your financial smarts.
Because deans manage a lot of money.
Right. And they want to see that you can handle it.
What if I haven't directly managed a huge budget before?
Well, you've probably had some experience with resource allocation.
Like what?
Have you managed a grant?
Maybe.
Overseen a budget line for your department?
Possibly.
Contributed to financial planning for a specific project?
Okay, I see what you mean.
Frame your experience in a way that highlights your understanding of financial stuff.
Responsible resource management.
Yes.
Any ideas for potential follow-up questions on this one?
They might ask about your approach to budget cuts.
Oof, tough one.
how you prioritize funding requests,
Okay.
or how you ensure transparency in financial decisions.
It's about showing you can make those tough calls.
Exactly.
All right, next question. How do you approach faculty recruitment and retention?
This is a crucial one. You need to attract and retain top talent.
To build a strong faculty.
Right. So this question's all about your strategy.
Okay.
Have you developed any innovative recruitment initiatives?
Oh, yeah.
Have you created a supportive environment that makes faculty want to stay?
To grow and be happy.
Exactly. Show them you can build a dynamic team.
This reminds me of something else from the RoleCatcher guide.
Oh, yeah.
They talked about offering opportunities for research visibility.
Yes, like conference presentations and publication support.
Right. It shows, how to support faculty and their goals.
Absolutely.
I'm noticing a trend here.
What's that?
It's all about connecting your experience and strategies back to the institution's goals.
You got it.
Okay, let's keep going. How do you approach academic program development and assessment?
This question is all about showing you can innovate, but also ensure program quality at the same time.
So have I developed new programs, revised curriculum?
Exactly. How do you make sure those programs are achieving their goals?
We need a way to measure that.
Right. Share examples of your successes and how you overcame challenges.
Show them you can get things done.
Yes.
And what about follow-up questions for this one?
They might ask about your experience with accreditation processes,
Okay.
how you involve faculty in program development and assessment,
Gotcha.
or how you stay up to date on trends in higher education.
It's about being a lifelong learner.
Exactly.
Okay, last question for this part. Can you discuss your experience in working with accreditation agencies?
All right. This one's about showing you understand quality assurance and compliance.
Important stuff.
Very. Be prepared to talk about specific accreditation standards and processes.
Okay.
If you've led an accreditation review, definitely mention that.
That's valuable experience.
It is.
Okay, we've covered 7 key interview questions.
We have.
I'm already feeling more prepared. But before we move on, I want to touch on those AI features from RoleCatcher.
Oh, yes. Those are fantastic resources.
How can our listeners use them to their advantage?
RoleCatcher's AI can analyze your written responses
Really?
and give you feedback on things like clarity, structure, and content.
Wow, it's like having a personal editor.
Exactly.
That's incredible. And we'll delve deeper into the AI stuff later.
We will.
But I encourage everyone to check out RoleCatcher's platform.
Yes. See all the resources they have to offer.
Great advice. We've covered a lot of ground in this first part, but there's more to come.
Definitely.
Stay tuned as we continue our deep dive into the world of the Dean of Faculty interview. Welcome back to the deep dive. We just tackled some of those tough interview questions.
We did. But there's one more we need to talk about.
Oh, right. The big one.
How do you approach diversity and inclusion in academic programs and departments?
Yeah, that one's super important these days.
It is. It's a top priority for a lot of institutions.
And for good reason.
Exactly.
It's not just a buzzword, right?
Yeah. No, not at all.
It's about creating a welcoming environment.
For everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where everyone feels like they belong.
Absolutely.
But sometimes it can be hard to answer that question
It can be.
in a way that feels, genuine.
Right. You don't want to sound like you're just saying the right things.
Exactly.
Interviewers want to see real evidence of your commitment.
That you're actually going to do something.
Yes. They want to see that you can turn your beliefs into action.
So what kind of examples should people be ready to share?
Think about specific initiatives you've led or been involved in.
Okay.
Have you implemented mentorship programs for underrepresented faculty?
Okay.
Developed recruitment strategies to attract a more diverse group of candidates?
Makes sense.
Conducted any bias training workshop?
Those are all great examples.
They are. They show that you're actually taking steps to make a difference.
It's not just talk.
Exactly.
This reminds me of something from the RoleCatcher Career Guide.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
They mentioned that institutions are looking for deans who can champion diversity.
Yes. It's becoming a core expectation for leadership roles.
So it's not just about hitting certain numbers.
No, it's about creating a culture.
Where everyone feels valued and respected.
Exactly. And empowered to succeed.
I love that.
It's about belonging.
Yes. Okay, so let's say our listener has shared some great examples of their work in this area. What kind of follow-up questions should they expect?
They might ask about the challenges you've faced promoting diversity and inclusion.
Because it's not always easy, right?
Right. There can be pushback.
Or they might ask how you measure the effectiveness of your initiatives.
Yes. How do you know if it's working?
Or how you address resistance from faculty or staff.
It's about being prepared to have those difficult conversations.
Exactly. Okay, so we've covered 8 key questions now.
We have.
I feel like we've given our listeners a lot to think about.
I hope so.
But before we wrap up, I want to circle back to RoleCatcher's AI tools.
Oh, yes. Those can be so helpful.
I'm really curious to hear more about them.
Okay, great.
We talked about them a little bit before,
We did.
but let's really dive into how they can help people prepare for this interview.
Sounds good.
So tell me, how can RoleCatcher help someone craft those amazing answers and stand out as a candidate?
Well, they have this awesome AI co-pilot feature.
What?
It can analyze your written responses.
Really?
Yeah. And it gives you feedback on clarity, structure, and content.
Wow, it's like having a personal writing coach.
It is.
That's so helpful, especially when you're not sure how to say things.
Absolutely.
It can be tough to articulate your experience effectively.
It can.
And it's not just about making your writing better, right?
Right.
RoleCatcher's AI can also tailor your answers to the specific job description.
Exactly.
It can do that.
Yeah. It looks for those keywords, skill, and experience the employer wants.
Okay.
And then it helps you tweak your responses to match their expectations perfectly.
That's like having a secret weapon.
It is. It takes all the guesswork out of it.
So let's say someone is working on their answer to that diversity and inclusion question.
Okay.
How could RoleCatcher's AI help them write a killer response?
They could put their draft into the co-pilot,
Okay.
and the AI would check it for clarity, conciseness, and if it's relevant to the institution's values.
It would make sure it's a good fit for that specific school.
Right. It might even suggest adding some keywords from the job description.
Oh, good idea.
Or highlight quantifiable outcomes.
So you can show the impact you've made.
Exactly. Or it might suggest framing your experience to fit the institution's mission.
It sounds like it really takes the pressure off.
It does.
And the AI doesn't just stop at written responses, does it?
Nope. It can also analyze video practice sessions.
Wee.
Yeah, it gives you feedback on your body language, tone of voice, how you present yourself.
It's like a virtual mock interview.
It is. You get expert feedback without having to leave your house.
That's incredible.
It's all about using technology to your advantage.
I know some people might be hesitant to use AI for something like this.
I get that.
It seems so futuristic.
It does, but trust me, it's worth trying.
You're really starting to convince me.
Good. Because it's not about replacing human skills.
Right.
It's about enhancing them.
Think of it as a tool to help you be your best.
Exactly. Like a personalized coach guiding you every step of the way.
Okay, I'm sold. This AI stuff could be a game changer.
It definitely can be.
For anyone preparing for a dean of faculty interview, or any interview really,
Absolutely.
it's all about being prepared and feeling confident talking about your experience.
And your vision for the future.
Right.
And RoleCatcher's AI tools can really help you with that.
So we've talked about those 8 key questions,
We have.
explored how AI can help you level up your preparation,
Yep.
and hopefully instilled some confidence in our listeners.
I hope so.
But before we go to the final part of our deep dive,
Okay.
I want to touch on something else that's really important. Welcome back to the deep dive. We talk about so much.
We have those tough interview questions, the AI tools.
Right. All super helpful stuff. But before we wrap up, I want to kind of zoom out for a sec
Okay.
and talk about that, I don't know, that something.
Something special.
Yeah, that makes a candidate really stand out.
Ah, you're talking about that mix of confidence, authenticity, passion.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, they're good, but this person's great.
It's what sets them apart.
Totally. So how do you convey that?
You've got to show your enthusiasm for the role, connect with those interviewers.
Like on a human level,
Yeah.
not just a robot reciting answers.
Right. You want to leave a lasting impression.
Okay, so how do I do that?
It starts with remembering your why.
My why.
Yeah. Why are you passionate about this job? What makes you unique?
Oh, I see what you mean.
When you connect with your own purpose, it shows.
It's not just about listing accomplishments. It's about your story.
Exactly. Let your personality shine through.
So don't be afraid to be myself.
Be yourself. Let them see your enthusiasm, your commitment.
Okay, we've given our listeners a lot of advice. We have.
But let's end with some things they can do right now.
Actionable steps. I like it.
What are 3 things our listener can do to start putting this into practice?
First, go back to that RoleCatcher platform.
Okay.
Really spend some time with the Dean of Faculty Career Guide.
Read it carefully.
Highlight stuff, take notes, really understand the role.
Okay, great advice. What's number 2?
Self-reflection time. Think about your why.
Why do I want to be a dean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What are your strengths? What experiences have shaped you?
Write down some specific examples, stories I can tell.
Yes, those will make your answers come alive.
Love it. Okay, what's the third action step?
Practice, practice, practice.
Of course. Gotta rehearse.
Use that RoleCatcher AI co-pilot to polish your answers, record yourself, do mock interviews.
The more comfortable I am talking about it, the better.
Exactly. You'll be more confident on the big day.
Those are fantastic takeaways. I feel ready to tackle my next interview.
Me too. And remember, even if this interview doesn't work out,
The skills you learn will help you throughout your career.
it's all about growing and learning.
You got it. And who knows, maybe you'll discover new paths you hadn't thought of.
Well, I think we've given our listener everything they need to ace that Dean of Faculty interview.
I think so too. We covered a lot.
We did. Best of luck to everyone out there on their interview journey.
Be confident, be authentic, be passionate, and good luck.
That's it for this deep dive, but keep learning, keep growing.
And we'll see you next time.